I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just hoping it would change. I've been going through
What's down, what it do, what it is. Welcome back to the StoryHouse show. You already know you're rocking with your boy. Ayo, we in this thing. Let's get to it. So look, man, StoryHouse, you already know what we do here. We have real conversations. It's a place for real people to have real conversations about real things. You know what I mean? Real life. I know I'm saying real a whole lot of times, but I really like to emphasize that because sometimes in life, we faking it, we ain't being authentic, and that ain't what it's about around here. This is a space to where, regardless of what your real is, this is a real space for you. We can really care. So look, man, this week, I want to go ahead and kick this show off with talking about how the last one was. Like, honestly, just talking about, March. I think I talked about it in the last one, but yeah, like I said, man, March, my head was in a different kind of place. Wasn't feeling the best. Just everything. I don't know. Just everything was, my vibe, my energy, everything was off. And sometimes you got to have it. Like I said, man, StoryHouse is about picking yourself up, lifting yourself up and getting right. And this month, April 9th, your boy turned 35. Blessings. New Year. Thankful to God to see another year. And it was a good time. I really kept it chill over the weekend, but just had a nice little dinner. Cool little vibe. Man, I keep it easy. So that's really what I've been having going on. And I'm so looking forward to this upcoming community session. I feel like it's going to be dope. Last month, I ain't really talk about it too much. So we didn't really have a community session like time about. Like, it was there, but I ain't put the energy into it that it deserved. And so I want to make sure moving forward that I do the best that I can to make sure anytime you show up to a community session, it's the best event that it can be. It's an authentic space. It's a good time. And so we just going to move forward with that. So with that being said, just to go ahead and kick it off to let you know, this month on Tuesday, April 28th, we're going to be meeting up at Trebley Park as always. Last Tuesday of the month, 6:30 p.m. I hope it's been raining a little bit in Houston, but hopefully it's a vibe. It's cool this upcoming Tuesday, and we can go out there, have a good time, chilling on the park, having real conversations. If not, as always, y'all already know we can move inside the Toot Suite, which is there. Nice little coffee shop, and that's a good time as well. So I done had the community sessions inside, outside. Both of them was a good time. So just know, regardless of whichever one you pull up to, it's going to be great. And so with that being said, I do also want to kick off this show going into our standard. You already know what the standard is here. Look, man, we have a single standard of respect and compassion for everyone in our community. No double standards when it comes to mental care. And I feel like that's so important because, as I always say, look, man, it doesn't matter your race, your gender, your age, your religion, your creed. Well, he be saying creed, I don't know what that means, but it's one of the words that they be having that, you know, only know on the list of like demographics that you can't talk about or something like that. When it comes to workplaces, I don't know what that means, but all I know is whatever your creed is, hey, look, man, you can come here. We are not going to judge you based upon that. We're going to judge. We're not even judge you. We're going to accept you as the person that you are. You can have every conversation. You can share every story that you have based on the person that you are. And that's just honestly how I live life and how I believe things. I don't feel like you should have a limit based on what you can do. Like, ain't no, oh, you a man, so you can only be this emotional. Look, man, bro, if you emotional, be that emotional ass dude that you is. If you're a woman and you not the most emotional, which is what the expectation is, hey, look, shawty, don't have to go be over extra emotional. That ain't truly who you are. Just be who you actually are. And I feel like once we have more space and more acknowledgement for people to be able to do those things, you can really just flourish within your truth, within yourself. Because I know a lot of times people talk about live within your truth and live within, tell your truth. And the thing is, your truth is just what's honest to you. It doesn't mean it has to always be 100% accurate, but it's what your truth is. And you can't grow beyond what you actually believe. If you're trying to lie to yourself, tell yourself something else, you can't grow from that. You grow from what you actually are, what you actually believe. And from there, you can become something different. You become something better as far as we aiming to do. We always aiming for progression over perfection over here. So that's what we always moving towards. So just remember, that's the standard that we always moving with. With that being said, I want to go ahead and just jump into the topic for today. Getting into it, man. The topic for today is going to be the word self-considerate. And to me, honestly, self-considerate, I said it before, self-considerate is like one of my favorite words. It's a word that I found out about last year. And to me, it was like really dope about self-considerate. It's like one of them words that just encompasses so much when it comes to self-care, mental care, taking care of yourself. And what I want to touch on with it is going into what I found, looking up the word, the Google definition is basically actively prioritizing your own emotional, physical, and mental well-being, often going beyond basic self-care to address deeper personal needs. And I feel like that's dope. And like the AO version of that is basically prioritizing care for oneself, man. Not allowing consideration for others to prevent you from being considerate for yourself. And that to me is like really what it's all about. Like, not being inconsiderate. I feel like that's the big focus of it, is understanding being self-considerate is not being inconsiderate. It's not like you lacking consideration for others, but it's understanding that yourself also deserves consideration. And just to kind of give a quick backstory on this one, the topic came up because I had a conversation with somebody last year. Matter of fact, I'm just honestly dive into everything that was going on. So basically, I had someone who I was dating at a point in time, and we were talking and all that good stuff. And myself, all my life, I've had the belief that, hey, I'm selfish. Like, I'm okay with being selfish sometimes. Not all the time, but I'm okay with being selfish. And the word is selfish, and I'm okay with vocalizing it. And I was talking to someone, and they was more or less in a space of like, selfish. I don't like that. Like, selfish, because they grew up in a mindset, like a family, and everybody around them was more or less on the space of selfish is a bad thing. Like, thinking about yourself, like, you need to think about others. Don't put yourself first. Don't put yourself early on. Make sure you're worrying about other people first and taking care of other people and things like that. And unfortunately, that person also, at certain parts of their life, like, none but care for them, but they had times where, because they not having a focus of self sometimes, that they not putting themselves first, and it kind of reflects in certain moments, unfortunately. But so going into that topic, I was like, bro, I'm selfish. And they was like, I hate when you say that. I don't like this. And because I said I was selfish so much, their viewpoint of me was that I was a selfish person. And I was okay with that, but just going into the word, it just really bothered me so much. And so what we wound up doing, because they were just talking about it, and we wound up looking up the word, seeing what selfish mean. And I was like, all right, bet, boom, boom, boom. Like, I know it's a good definition, because, you know, you have your multiple definitions of words. I'm like, I know one of these definitions is going to be something positive about the word selfish. But it wasn't. Everything that we looked up and we saw about the word selfish was a bad thing. Somebody who only considers themselves, someone who is inconsiderate to others, someone who doesn't think about anybody else but themselves. And for me, one, I'm the type of person who, hey, if you right, you right. I might not be happy about it, but if I say something and I find out that what I was saying is not accurate, bet I might huff and puff a little bit, but I'm be like, all right, you was right. Selfish is not a good word. Everything about selfish is negatively. But from that conversation, after learning, yes, everything about selfish is negative, I still have my same belief that it's important to understand when are the moments to prioritize yourself. So at that point, I kind of went to, it got to be another word. So I wound up searching, looking around, trying to find what's another word, something that describes when you are considering yourself, when you are taking care of yourself, when you make the decision based upon yourself and not just others. And at that point in time is when I came across the word self-considerate. And honestly, for me, it just really is a smooth word. It says exactly what it means. It doesn't have any negative connotations with it. It's just really exactly what it says. It's being considerate to yourself. And like I said, it's about prioritizing oneself. It's not about being inconsiderate to others. Because at that point in time, that's when you shift from being self-considerate to just being selfish. If you don't have an understanding of balance in between both of those, that's a space in between selfish and self-consideration. If you only ever prioritize yourself, if you only ever make everything about you, then you don't shift toward the word self-considerate, you shift toward the word selfish. And I feel like it's very important for people to understand and be able to identify those differences so that when you have it as a point of you're trying to grow in your self-consideration, you learn what it means. Because like usually if you're self-considerate, like a lack of self-consideration, some of the things that I have for them, like one, people lack self-consideration, you people pleasing. I feel like I know a lot of people who heavy on trying to please everybody around them, heavy on trying to make sure everybody good, everybody, oh yeah, I'm just making sure everybody happy, I'm making sure everybody happy. But it's like, bro, that's great. I feel like it's amazing to like be the type of person who can make sure you put a smile on somebody else's face. But you should also have a space to where you understand it's important to put a smile on your own face. And even if nobody else does it, you're going to make sure that a smile is put on your face. And that's really important in so many aspects of life, because I feel like it's great if you have like people, you have loved ones, people around you who are going to make sure that you actually do smile. They actually show up for you. They're present in your life to where you ain't worried about, oh, am I going to be good today? Because I know so-and-so going to show up for me. If I'm having a bad day, I can reach out to this person and they're going to lift me up. That's amazing. But sometimes you got to be able to, for yourself, oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm going to lift me up. I'm going to take care of making sure I smile today. I'm going to make sure when I'm in a moment, because the thing is, in life, there's only one person you are guaranteed to always have in your life, and it's yourself. So even though it's good to have the other people around you, if you can't take care of yourself sometimes, you're still going to be in a bad situation. So making sure you're not so stuck in people pleasing that you're not pleasing yourself as well. And the thing is, like, what I've mostly learned on most of the situations of people who are people pleasing and lack self-consideration, you grow a lot of contempt. You feel away toward the people. Like you grow to think something about the people. Like, y'all ain't never thinking about me. Is like, well, if you show consideration for yourself, sometimes when you get a certain level of consideration for yourself, you don't even have the space to have contempt for other people, because the people around you have now had to rise to that same level of, oh, that person is considering themselves. So to be around them, I have to consider them as well. Because for me personally, I'm big on, like I said, obviously we had a conversation going from selfish to self-considerate. So I'm big on making sure I'm considering myself. So if you're around me too often, I'll have the moments of where I'll allow and try to like prioritize somebody else. But if you show up in my life and everything's about you, and I don't have moments to where you show up to where I see that you consider me, hey, look, it's all love, but I'm good. You're not gonna see me showing up in the same kind of way. I already have my love. I already deal with trust issues. That's something I already deal with. So I got my trust issues that I'm trying to grow past my own self. And if you ain't showing up for me in certain kind of ways, I just don't know how to. Like, especially if I decide you show me some kind of look great, and I'm like, all right, bet, I'm gonna try to push through, and I'm gonna be extra, and then you don't. Oh no, that fallback game going crazy. And I ain't, again, I'm on my own journey, so everything I'm talking about, like, understand this is somebody on the journey. But if you do not show me that consideration when you talking to me, I'm not gonna extend that same consideration with you. And so at that point in time, when you start growing your self-consideration, you automatically weed certain people out of your life, because you're not gonna have the contempt for somebody because they're not even present no more. Why I got contempt for you? You ain't even around. All the people around me got consideration for me, because my self-consideration has made everyone around me. I mean, I don't know exactly how the quote go, but it's something along the lines of, when the boat rise, the water rise, something like that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But it's like, you know what I mean? Everything rises. And so you can't be around me if you're not rising with me in this water, in this wave. And I feel like that's a big thing on why having self-consideration shows up. And another thing, when you lack self-consideration, is you end up being overly dependent. Like, if you don't have consideration for yourself, so you're not having other people around you showing up, it's all on you. Everything becomes on you. You got to do it. You got to fix it. You got to make it happen. And hey, look, I understand the day culture and everything we live in right now, man. It's a hustle culture. This is a hustle culture. This is a go and get it culture. And hey, look, man, salute, shout out, get to it, get that. Whether it's getting that money, getting, I don't really know what else people be getting to other than money, but I mean, getting to your goals, your dreams, and whatever happiness you feel like. Hey, look, get to it, hustle, grind, go hard. But look, man, we humans. If you're listening to this, you're human. If you're paying attention to this, taking in these words, you're a human being, unless we're in the future and we got some other cyborgs, robots, man, that's why, you know, these AI robots be doing a whole lot, listening in everything we're talking about. But I'm talking to humans. And if you're a human being, you're a person, you were not built to be alone. We're not built to be alone. That's not the structure of how we are from a community standpoint. Everything that we have, the point in time that we are, is built on the people that we have in the past. So it's just a continuation of growing within community, cultures, and spaces. So if you're trying to live your life based on I'm gonna do everything, you're already losing, man. You already losing. And like I say, it's great. Sometimes you do gotta go and get things. Like I told you with the contempt part, if you're not being self-considerate to yourself, you're gonna grow contempt. So sometimes you gotta do it for yourself. But if it's always for yourself, you're never going to have the joy and happiness of having somebody else be able to lift you up, having somebody else to be able to show up for you, having someone else be able to be present around you, which is why I said when you have self-consideration, you also make the people around you rise with you. They rise to the occasion. and to the point of where when you don't have the days where you're feeling the best, because those people now have consideration for you, they know how to show up for you, they know how to be there for you. So just making sure that you always have the understanding. It don't have to always be okay. You can just go, because you have people around you who now have learned to be considerate to you. Or it's people who just already had consideration, and that's how they showed up in your life. But making sure you have that balance ensures that regardless of what you're going through, you have people who are present with that. And that's why it's like so important to like have consideration, because those things, like I said, that people pleasing, contempt, and becoming overly dependent, those are dangerous things. And sometimes people can really, the people pleasing and over dependent, people can really feel like those are like badges of honor. And some people, the contempt, they really okay with having contempt and being hating somebody. It's like, man, that's energy on you. Like, you feel that way toward them, but that's the energy you got to live with. And so just understand, like, to have a balance with that. So yeah, like I said, that's where the topic came from. That's what like self-consideration is. And like I said, with all of it, with the self-consideration, it's all about finding balance. Like I said, because at the end of it, as I said, when you have the people who are, when you be considerate to yourself, how you have people rising and having consideration for you. The thing is, with the rise and flow of that is, you don't have to be inconsiderate, because now you've been considerate to yourself, you're being considerate to those around you. Others are also going to be considerate to you. Because I feel like so often people kind of, like I said, with some of the other issues, you'll grow to become inconsiderate, because that's all that that's what you learn to protect yourself with. But with self-consideration, you have a balance in between, when do I consider myself, when do I consider somebody else, and you know what I mean, it balances out. Sometimes you choose you, sometimes you choose others, and I feel like that's an important, that's really to me what the balance is. Understanding just because you're self-considerate doesn't mean every decision is all about self, because I'm super self-considerate, and I know there's certain people in my life who probably be like, oh yeah man, they're selfish. And one, because again, I understand the power of the tongue, so having had oftentimes in my life being okay with using the word selfish, there are people who are okay with using their words to describe me. Because to me, I feel like a big thing is, I'm growing to get, I've always had a significant or a decent understanding of power of the tongue, but like I know a lot of people who is like, I know people who literally just say, oh, I'm a nice person. They regularly say they're a nice person. Their actions don't always align with a nice person, but the people around them speak about them and talk about them as, oh, they're so nice, what you got so nice? And if you talk to somebody who's a deeper thinker, I've had people be like, nah, they really ain't that nice. You know, they be doing their bullshit. But the thing is, because of the power of the tongue, speaking that up allows you to get to that space. So I feel like just understand, like speaking to yourself, like not calling yourself selfish. For myself, like not saying I'm selfish, and understand, hey, I'm self-considerate. I consider you, I consider myself, but sometimes I'm choosing me. That's not me saying fuck you, that's me saying yes to myself right now. Because what you're asking for me is gonna break me a little bit, or it's gonna break me to the point of where I'm not gonna be okay after this. And so I gotta let you choose and deal with what you're gonna have to deal with from that, because I gotta be okay in this moment. And so with those things, that's just like what I feel so important about finding a balance with being self-considerate. So I hope this little quick, I say a little quick, but I hope this breakdown of what self-considerate means, the importance of it, the value of it, and I hope it just really shows up and like I hope I articulated myself well enough. And I really would love, hey, if you got different opinions of it, if you love the word, you hate the word, whatever it is that you feel and think about it, send me a message, drop a comment, let me know. Just however y'all feeling, because I mean, everything, like I say, I'm doing, my goal is to grow better, get better at everything we're doing, and y'all feedback really helps me grow, so I appreciate every time we have it. With that being said, that water kind of hit right there. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna go from the topic of self-consideration and just like explaining more or less what it is. I'm in the StoryHouse. Y'all already know what we do here. We tell stories, we tell our life stories, we share what we got going on. So, for me, personally, the topic, when I thought about self-considerate, because again, like I told you, I live from a space of more or less being self-considerate all the time. And so, basically, I had to think about a moment where I had to learn to be considerate to myself, or a moment where I haven't quite learned to be considerate to myself. I chose to go with one where I have been considerate to myself. I might share a story on the other one as well. But one of the biggest moments of where I had to be self-considerate to myself is a breakup that I had. Or honestly, it's really the biggest breakup. I don't think I haven't had a lot of times in this life I've lived where I was like, oh, this is my girlfriend. This is my official labeled status significant other kind of person, right? So girlfriend that I had, we talked between different situations. We had situationship moments. We also had moments of when we were officially, hey, this is my girlfriend kind of situation, right? But all in all, that totaled up about 7 years. Due to other situations, basically this entire time we just exclusively date, but whatever. All right, so the thing is, again, as I'm talking about it, 7 years, but we're not together, and I'm talking about the reason as to why I had to be considerate to myself with it is I had to choose to no longer continue a relationship that I wasn't happy in. To me, that really was a huge thing about it is I knew at a point in time, I'm just not happy. Honestly, it's crazy. I literally, I don't know if I ever really told him about this, but hey, I'm gonna talk about it right here. Literally, what happened for me is I had a point in time. This is why we're living together, and literally, I was in the bathroom, and I don't know what crossed my mind. Something, but God just told me, like, I mean, I'm religious. I believe in God, Christian. So God just told me, this ain't for you. This relationship ain't nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna flourish. It's not gonna be what you need to be. You need to be outside this relationship. And I'm pretty sure I cried when I thought about that. I was like, dang, man, that's big, that's deep. We got years in, we got some time in here. And it's like, man, I love Shawty. But at the same time, knowing, like I knew it wasn't it. I've been feeling like that kind of leading up to it, but it's just kind of like that final, like, I ain't playing with you. This ain't for you. And if it sound good if I was like, oh, I'm being self-considerate. So like instantly after that, I ended. I was like, hey, Shawty, I love you, but I can't be with you no more. That sound real good. I was being self-considerate to myself, right? Nah, that ain't how it happened at all. Because the thing is, this wasn't someone I disliked. This is someone I actually. It's someone I actually like. I vibe with him. Like, energy good. We cool together. But for me, I'm big on peace. And what I felt like we had, based on my preferences, wasn't peace. It wasn't peace. It wasn't gonna end in peace. I didn't foresee peace happening from it. And like our interactions just kind of told me, like, no matter how you feel, no matter how things going, you've kind of seen enough to where you know, even through the growth and changes that we both had within the relationship, because understanding, like, I had a space I had to grow in, space she had to grow in, but this is not gonna be peace for you, bro. This is just not gonna be peace. And for me, like, having that realization, it was like really kind of sad. So from that, I kind of had a point in time. I was like, all right, bet I gotta do this at the right time. And I feel like for me, a lot of times with things in life, I'll try to make sure I do something at the right time. I'll have to set it up, do it right. Like, I want to the best I can. Like, I can struggle through something a little bit. Like, let me, what the word is? Knuckle down or mustard, whatever the word is. But basically, let me just bear down. Yeah, bear down. I think I was going for. Let me just bear down, go through it for a little bit. Because again, I don't hate this person. I don't dislike this person. It ain't like, oh my God, seeing you just under my skin. I don't feel this way towards you, but I know I'm not happy here. I know I'm not fully happy here. We had happy moments, but I know the overall is not happiness for me. The thing is, though, life don't ever allow things to be that easy as, let's wait for the perfect moment of where things are going just right. There was so much going on around her. Like, one major thing at the time, she was kind of in between deciding what she wanted to do work-wise. She was at one space and deciding I want to go to another job, and she ended up like actually quitting from a job that she was having, going to a point of making less money, and that was something dealing with, and like her trying to decide career-wise what she want to have going on, and that was, I was like, I sure can't tell you, hey, get out of here. You done decided on that you're gonna take a step back because of the confidence space that we have, the safety that we have in being together. Oh, no, actually, you got to figure this out by yourself. Nah, at that point in time, I'm like, all right, cool. I guess I have to figure it out while you're going through whatever you got right there. So that kind of becomes a case of, all right, cool, kind of go through a process. And again, eventually, she actually, like, without going to her joints, but like, she just going through those things. Eventually kind of gets to more of a, all right, you done went back, you done kind of shook back, you moving along this level. You kind of took your step back, and now you step back forward, and you decided this is what's for you. Great, amazing. Should be soon able to say something. Nah, man. Start having numerous, like multiple people within her family start having different illnesses. I'm talking about like major things, like cancer level things. So it's like, bruh, that's major. This isn't like your third cousin twice removed and nothing like that, which I have no clue what that means. But whatever that cousin is far down the line, nah, this ain't that. This is immediate family members. This is family members that I care about. Like, I genuinely care about, you know what I mean? Like, not even like kind of, not even just, like, obviously because you the reason I'm introduced to them, but I actually care about these people. So at this point in time, you going through those processes and them on their health journey, you trying to show up for them, and I'm seeing how much it's breaking you down and how much you showing up and how much weight it is on you. And so for me, it's just like, man, I can't do this to you right now. Like, you don't even know, you concerned that this person might lose their life. How can I break it with you during this time period? And so, like, people have different things. They have growth. Shout out to God, had points in time to where cancer being beat, different things of just being in better health situations. And again, as I say, not one person, 2, 3, like multiple people having different situations going on. So trying to process and be okay and how to show up for this person, how to still be there for them. But I'm still knowing for myself, I need to consider myself that I'm not happy in this whole relationship. This relationship isn't happy for me. And it's not like during this time period where these hardships are going, it's getting better in the issues that I have issues with. Those are still present. They're still flat line and staying straight across what it is. And I don't want to be here. Not happy for me. All right. So like I say, having the health issues and the person gets better, the healthier situation. Bad. Family's getting better. I'm also happy for them because, again, as I said, nothing but love for them. And I mean nothing but love for him to the point of, I'm not going to because honestly it might get me crying. I ain't trying to cry right now with y'all. But getting to a point of like actually seeing these people get better, and it's like, all right, bet. It's a little bit, let it breathe, because you can't be like, let me be careful. But I'm out of here. You can't do that. That's crazy. And that's not what I want to do. That don't sit on my spirit well. And then I'm not even the type of person to, all right, so if you know me, I'm up, man. I sleep like it ain't nothing. We tired, bam, hey, knocked out. If it get boring and I'm in a comfortable place, oh yeah, bro, I will pass out in this room. I will go to sleep, easy, anywhere. And so I sleep hard too. Like, I'm not the easiest to wake up. If I go to sleep, man, it done been. Hey, like, I had people who've been over around my house and be like, hey, bro, these alarms ain't waking you up. I have lights that automatically come on, bro. If I'm too caught up in my sleep, I ain't waking up. I don't care what it is. But yo, middle of the night, Shawty on the way coming back. I don't know where she was coming from. She called my phone. And now again, I'm not the person, like, even if you know I love you and care for you, you know I'm not the most reliable person to call to like stay up on the phone with, because I be sleeping. I might fall asleep on myself driving sometimes. Lord willing, I'm still here alive, but I'm not the person to call and stay up on the phone with, because I might fall asleep on you. It's just, it ain't because I don't care. It's just I struggle with this. And so she called me, like, not to stay up on the phone with her, but she called me to let me know she been in an accident. And for me, it's just like, fucking shitting? You crazy? Like, what's going on here? Now again, the relationship, this is not relevant because I have genuine love and care for this person. So it's just like, what you got going on? And, showing up and seeing, this ain't like a minor accident. This is like a flip, total vehicle, having to go to ER, raised on gurneys, all that kind of things going on. And it's like, damn, you got all this going on. I'm showing up and seeing these things going. And kind of fast forwarding along with the self-considerate topic is, after realizing this person has all this going on, shit, okay. They having to recover physically from the injury that they've been in, but also having to recover mentally, because like, I've been in multiple car accidents. I don't know, my dumb ass just be feeling like ain't nothing gonna happen to me, but I'm not really even scared about driving. But they got to a point where they had a certain fear with driving, they had concern. I think even like now to this day, they don't drive as fast as they used to. And again, the accident wasn't even on them. It was, I think, a drunk driver. But the thing is, they have another situation. So you went from the career decision that you're trying to have going on, your family health issues. Now you had a major car accident. And I'm trying to be there for you while you're recovering, while you're having all those things going on. But also still within me knowing I'm not happy in this relationship and I want to be out of this. And the thing is, you going through the progress, going through everything on that. If you know, like any kind of major accident, lawyers and all that stuff, it take a long time to process, to get everything help done. It's a whole long process. And again, trying to get to where they're actually okay. And the thing is, at a point in time, the health issues with family start rising back up, and all of these things start happening. And I'm saying all this to just kind of give you a full picture of everything going on, because I want to talk about the topics, but I also want to like show up and like really just present myself within these things, because these moments and how I'm not just talking about something, I'm talking about something that's really present, relevant within my life. And again, with all of this, I love to just be like, shit, you hear me? And after all that, after a while, I was just like, hey, look, man, hey, this enough is enough. I ain't happy here no more. I want out of this. I love you, but this ain't it for me, girl. Bye. But that ain't how it happened. That ain't how it happened. How it happened is one evening we chilling. I don't even know what the conversation was, what chopped it up. Like if we was having like major issues or something. I couldn't tell you, because I think I chopped it with her. And so she remembered like the beforehand, because obviously she wasn't at the same space with it. But she asked me something about our relationship. And it was more or less like, you want to be in this, something along them lines. And I was giving like, I don't know, I don't think so, maybe probably not. And that was just that moment for me of where it's like, because I'm pretty sure she probably maybe she had brought it up beforehand, but maybe not to that direct level for me to respond like that. But it was just like, do you actually want to be here? It's like, I don't think so. And for me, that was the first moment of like being considerate to myself, like having self-consideration to be like, I don't think I want to be in this. And I don't know, like if I'm being honest, because it's a little blurry for me at moments, I don't know if we was like, hey, let's reconvene in a week and see if that's for sure how you feeling, or if it was like in that moment I decided, like, no, for sure, I know it ain't it. So if it was a reconvene in a week, I know I reconvened and came back with another no, and she was sad. Or in that moment she was sad. I don't know, sometimes like movies, lines and stuff be getting caught up in my head. Hey look, I'm a writer, a lot of stuff be getting. But neither here nor there on that. The main part is understanding between either that day or a week later, I fully conveyed to her, hey look man, I don't want to be in this relationship. But again, like I said, the sad part is that like it was only because she asked me. I still had to actually show up and say, no, I don't want to be in this. I still had to explain those things, because she still got situations going on. Like the health issues, the car situation, those are not finalized things. It was still things going on at those points in time. So, but at that moment, I felt like it was far enough along. We was in a space and I was just like, man, bro, when is you going to decide? Because you just going to you're just going to keep spending time in this relationship you're not happy in. And we kind of had that talk, and like I say it took time with it, but eventually, like, we kind of like grew. Obviously, had to like, we was living together, so I had to go to the process of like ending that to get into a space where we are actually straight. And the crazy thing is, I don't know how much later it took for her to say it to me, because I think, you know, you kind of in the space of like, oh, I'm gonna fight for my relationship, so she kind of was in that thing or whatever, but. In respect to it, because I mean, hey, that's what you should do. If you feel like it's something there, go for it. But the reality is later on, her being like, nah, man. Just like, because I eventually like kind of told like, I ain't really want to be, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't want to be like, God told me it ain't true. That's crazy. But the thing is, I kind of said that to a point. Well, I did say that, and she later on followed up with the same thing of like, yeah, I knew as well. I knew this wasn't it as well, but she was kind of looking past it, and her kind of being like, I wouldn't have broke. Even though she knew it, she knew for herself she never would have actually broke us up. Cause like right now, this is someone who I view as a friend still to this day. Like I still care for him. I didn't even have like people who I've dated since in the years since we broke up being like, hey, look, man, this is a friend of mine. We won't do nothing. We won't kick it. Any of the romance that we used to have, none of that at all. But I had people who stopped talking to me because of that, and I was like, just my beliefs is like, I gotta prioritize people who I view as a friend. If I view you as a friend, I can't cut you off because somebody else can't respect it. If you don't trust me, you don't trust me. And that's kind of always been how I've operated with it. And so we kind of went for a while with that kind of space of being friends and like just kind of operate on that. She was kind of doubtful on it. I was like, hey, look, bro, I don't gotta fuck on all my friends. It's cool, it's easy. But yeah, so we grew from that point, and the thing is of talking about all of this is getting to the point of that self-consideration that I had to have for myself to actually finally, even while she's still in this space of where she's not okay as she would want to be, to have to, bro, you not okay. And that's really what I feel like with a lot of these things. I gotta, even right now, me just thinking about it, gotta peel back, is that I wasn't okay. Like, and that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of a little bit nuts, but it's like, I wasn't fucking okay during this time period. I was making it through, I was getting through, but I wasn't okay. I wasn't happy, I wasn't okay with the person that I'm being with. I'm trying to force in the situation, I'm trying to warp my way in somewhere, like maybe this could be okay, maybe it'll change in this kind of way, and I'm just seeing things just continuously break along lines that's just not peace or happiness for me, to eventually having to, though she brought it to me, having to make that decision to consider myself is like, bro, you know you're not happy here. You know that you feel it in you so strongly, and you felt it for a while. Just go ahead and say it. And in that moment is when I chose to be considerate to myself. And the reality is, to a point, I'm all, this whole time, though I'm trying to be considerate to her, trying to be selfless or whatever, is inconsiderate to her, like knowing I don't want to be in this relationship, but I'm still pushing through. And she wants to be with her partner. She want to be with her forever partner. You want to be with your soulmate, your person, all that good stuff. But you with someone right now who cares for you, loves you, but knows that they don't want to be with you. And so that's inconsiderate to her. And so, yeah, just for myself, having to learn, me being considerate to myself was also something to be considerate to her on. And like we both kind of grew and post that, like, you know, dating and growing things beyond that, us being better people for other people. Because sometimes, even if like some of the reasons she might not have been my piece is just because of the history that we had. Like we got some bad beginnings, and it's like sometimes it's hard to grow past that if you ain't never really just seen it too much past that. It's like growth has happened, but it might not align. And I mean, honestly, right now, knowing her, yeah, nah, we ain't it for each other. We haven't had time to be separate and make different decisions and be like, yeah, actually, nah, we don't line up on enough things, because like when in a relationship, you're making a sacrifice in it, but now it's like, I don't want to make that sacrifice. I got some of those, and she got some of those for me as well. And so just both of us growing to be more considerate for ourselves. And like I say, we cool now. We still chop it up. Like I know, like we don't chop it up like we used to or nothing like that, and that's cool. And it's just like, but that's a person I look at as a friend. Like I say, family, like I wasn't going to, but like I mean, honestly, like even like the fact that her family, like one of the family members that was dealing with the situations, like actually ended up passing. I know, like for me, that was a huge thing. Like I don't even know if it's relevant to say it, but it's not really on topic. But it's something I just kind of want to talk about, get it out a little bit. But it's just like the fact that like that person passed, and that shit meant a lot to me, because it's like I personally ain't never had a person in my life in that same role that they showed up for me as. Like they genuinely there for me, right? And so it's just like getting that chance to like really talk to somebody and have them there, and it's just like losing them. That shit just, all right, cool, bring it back a little bit. But yeah, just like having that person, and like that's the extent to like within our relationship. It wasn't like a false kind of thing, though I may have gotten to a point where I knew I didn't want to be in it. The feelings and the love and everything like that was still real, because it was just like, honestly, for me, like the reason it crossed my mind so heavy is because I remember like post being with them, that person passed after we broke up and everything. Like I think years later, I want to say, but yeah, definitely years later, I want to say. But I was dating somebody else at the time, and the person I'm dating, literally, like this really fucked me up, because this person to me means so much. And so I'm pulling up to the funeral, and this person's like, oh yeah, make sure you show up for them. Make sure, like, don't worry about yourself. Just make sure you're showing up for them. I'm like, don't worry about me, bitch. I'm fucking going through it. I am sad. I'm going for me. Like, I'm not showing, like, I'm not the person. In this situation, it's not the family. I'm showing up as a family member because I care about them. I'm showing up because this person means a lot to me. And, like, that was a lot that I dealt with. Like, that was a big situation for me. Like, that was something, like, if I'm in, fuck, I used to. That's something I still right now feel a little bit. I harbor a little bit, and I want to grow past it. But I harbor toward that person who I was dating at that point in time. Who, again, somebody else I'm cool with. But it's just like I feel a way towards you. It's like, bruh, in a situation to where I'm grieving. You minimizing my grief, and so like that was just, again, being considerate to myself. I understand that person might not have been a person for me, but I done went on to a whole lot of things. I definitely went longer than I intended to, but I want to just kind of pour a little bit more out. And I mean, hey, if you out here, fill your cup up. And if you come around me, hey, fill mine up as well, because, bro, I'll be empty sometimes. Bro, I'll be empty. But we're being considerate to ourselves. And like I say, with all of that being said, man, it's just kind of being in a happier space. And like right now, I can say without a doubt, I'm happy that it ended. Love her still, but happy that it ended. And that's a moment where being considerate to myself really just kind of showed up. I don't have a topic offhand to talk about, like a moment where I haven't yet learned to be considerate to myself, but I want to say maybe it's in like my planning, like when I don't do something or when I don't feel productive enough, I'm not that considerate to myself. Like I have the level of, okay, you can do it tomorrow, you can get it done, and I'll still do that, but I ain't as considerate to myself as I want to be. So that's probably not the best example, and I really don't have the same whole breakdown like I just did with the moment of being considerate to myself, but that's probably like a space that I think about that I want to be like more considerate to myself about. So yeah, that is the topic. That's the meat and potatoes, as they say, whoever the hell said that, but yeah, that's that topic right there. Hey, look, man, hopefully what I said helped somebody, poured into somebody, gave some kind of energy, growth, because that's all, again, that's what all StoryHouse is about. It's a place to share your story. It's a house. It's a home. And as I always say, like, man, remember, StoryHouse is just a name, man. It's a name, but I call it a house for a reason, because it's a place to share your stories, to come home and share your stories. But the thing is, it doesn't become a home until you show up. Your presence is what makes it a home. So it's StoryHouse all day, but when you come here, we come together, whether it's at community sessions, it's when you watching these videos, engaging with me, showing up, that's when it become a home, man. It's a community at that point in time of people who actually genuinely care for each other. So I appreciate all of y'all and understanding anytime you show up. As I said again, Tuesday, April 28th, Trebley Park, 6:30 p.m. We're going to be showing up. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be having a conversation. We're going to dive into the conversation of self-consideration, of being self-considerate. So again, like I said, whether you're sharing a story of where you learn to be considerate to yourself in a moment like how I did, or again, it's okay if you're not there yet. If you don't feel like you self-considerate, to where you sharing a topic to where I actually haven't learned to be considerate to myself, and you kind of diving into that topic. Both of them are okay. I want to hear all of it. You already know, man. Anytime you pulling up, that's what I definitely try to communicate at any point in time. Community sessions is about just listening. Like whatever you got going, hey, look, man, my ear is open. I want to hear and know everything that you got going on. I'm never going to judge you, never going to come at you in any kind of way. I just want to know what you got going. So I always feel comfortable to come to StoryHouse community sessions and share what it is your story is. Good, bad, and different, whatever it is, I always want to hear. As long as you're coming from a honest space, I'm listening for you. Please don't come and say you shot nobody, nothing killing. Don't commit no crime. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not liable to them same kind of things. I ain't gonna snitch on you, but I don't want to be involved, player. Yeah, though. So, man, just know that's what it is with StoryHouse. Like I said, man, drop any thoughts, anything that y'all have. Always, man, drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, man, follow, check in with anything we got going right here. And what else it is? Yeah, like, man, if you have any topics, any thoughts, I spoke about it, but I think I'm definitely gonna move toward trying to get an interview and having this to be a bit more engaging, because I definitely want to hear more people. Like, obviously I have my thoughts, my opinions, and things going on, but I don't think I'm a know everything person to anything that I speak about. I feel like it's always somebody else who can help me grow. Like, again, even the word self-considerate, that's something I learned last year, speaking with someone and having a conversation to have that growth. So always having a space to where you can become, grow better, and that's all it's always about. So yeah, man, on that topic, yeah, man, I feel like that's basically everything. You already know what it is, man. It's StoryHouse. I don't know where you gotta go. I don't know where you finna go. But up out of here, you gotta get the hell. You feel me? But it's with all love, though. It's with all love. But you gotta get up out of here, little man. Thank y'all for watching in, checking in with the StoryHouse, man. StoryHouse show, man, is a real space, real love. everything I talk about. I can't wait to see y'all at community sessions, and I can't wait to just see this community grow and just always appreciate everything that y'all show up with. So y'all already know, like I said, man, it's just a house. StoryHouse is just a name. It's just a house. It's a home. When you come, it's your presence that make it feel warm and cute and cuddly and all that stuff to let everybody know the presence is real. So until the next time, be easy. We out. Baby.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just hoping it would change. I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, seem like all I feel is pain.